Alrighty, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's match, semifinals of the Castlevania 1 tournament on SpeedGaming Live 2020. We'll have Daikena racing Levelengine. Daikena has gotten to the semifinals by finishing second in the Group A bracket and beating Theagach in the quarterfinal. Levelengine finished second in the Group C bracket and beat Cronin in the Group B winner Cronin in the quarterfinal. So this is how we kind of set up. Here we are today. This should be a pretty closely contested race. Both runners have a PB within 1 second of each other. Daikena with an 11:44. That's been unsubmitted in Levelengine with an 11:45 that he got in his match with Cronin. With me today, so for your commentary team today, I'm Freelance1787. Joining me today is Socrates. This could be a double-header setup where we have the semifinal immediately played by the final round of this tournament.
All right, and looks like we're getting underway. Now, Freeland, I actually have not had the pleasure of watching any of Daikena's runs. Have you seen any of his past races?
Yeah, he's pretty much going to try and win with consistency here. He's been pretty consistent so far in this tournament.
That seems to be the strat so far. And I know Levelengine brought that consistency to the table with the Cronin matches and his performances in group stages. I guess we will see who is the most consistent.
Yeah, it should be a pretty closely contested race. Both runners have similar strats in their PBs.
Levelengine actually picked up a PB in the quarterfinal races against Cronin.
Yep, and Daikena avoids getting hit on the stairs. That's going to give him about a 0.3 second edge heading into the stage 1 door.
Right. No early stopwatches for either of them. They'll be going for the backup stopwatch here by standing on a specific pixel to get the bat to drop a stopwatch on death. Oh, it looks like Levelengine.
Neither guy picked up a stop. Yeah, neither runner picked up a stopwatch, so they're going to have to resort to the axe kill on the bat.
It's interesting that happened to both of them. I believe Daikena actually, he was going for a alternative pixel, but he looks like he missed it and wound up with nothing. While Levelengine looks like to have advanced the item table 1 slot.
I think Levelengine might go for a holy water backup here if he misses the crit, which he doesn't.
Still gets the crit.
Must have been feeling good about his crits today if he skipped that axe.
Yeah, that was a very confident move, and it worked out for him. Daikena resorting to the axe strats. Yeah. Pretty clean kill, but still just again slower than that crit.
Yeah, that crit's going to save Levelengine 4 seconds on Daikena here since he got a slower back kill. Although he does give some of it back right here.
Yeah, even though they're utilizing different sub-weapons right now, they still are probably going to go for a similar Crusher strat coming up here where they have to get their timing correct.
And unfortunately, Daikena picked up a long whip there, so that's gonna put him a little bit in trouble going into cave skip in level 4.
Yeah, it's going to be the problem.
Able to avoid his long whip upgrade.
Yeah, most runners will look to avoid the long whip at least until after a certain section in level 4 where they can attempt cave skip. It is much harder with long whip, so we'll see if he even attempts to go for it.
Yeah, the long whip cave skip is a 2-frame window trick as opposed to having plenty of time to use that stopwatch if you have a short whip. So both runners are going to have to wait for the crushers here because they don't have the stopwatch. If you had the stopwatch, they could just activate immediately.
Very particular timing getting through those crushers in one smooth action as opposed to waiting for each one to cycle.
Alright, both runners should be set up with a double shot. They're going to use the double shot Holy Water to stun lock this boss, while the boss stun lock using the whip to deal the bulk of the damage. Should see the same kill from both runners.
Yeah, fairly straightforward kill. One of the easier ones in the race. Levelengine, both runners will advance to level 3. Levelengine looking like he has about, I want to say, a 2 to 3 second advantage.
Definitely less than 2 seconds. I saw 3:39 on Levelengine's timer and 3:41 on Daikena's. Both of them starting at press start. Level 3 can make a difference here.
And there you see a divergence.
Yeah, Levelengine going for the faster Fleeman boost. That'll Allow him to pick up an extra quarter second here. And,
ooh, an unfavorable bird pattern from Daikena causing an unfortunate death. He'll have to reset to stage 7.
But there's one silver lining. That last bird did drop a rosary, so that's going to advance his item counter to 2.
Potion minute is now possible.
Leveline's still on item 1, I believe, so when he manipulates that bird for a drop, he's going to get a rosary, which isn't necessarily bad, either. It makes the screen a lot easier. Because it'll screen nuke that bone. No, he's got the money bag.
Oh, he had the holy water drop in level 1, and that never advanced it further.
Yeah, he was able to leap over the bone pillar, took a fireball hit from behind, but damage boost knocked him forward instead of backwards, so he's good to go.
And moves on to likely a Ouija Wii setup. Oh, or an alternative setup, I believe.
Nah, I don't think I've never seen him go for the Ouija Wii bridge.
Oh, he goes for classic strats, I believe.
Yep. Richard having a little bit of fun there, but still got crossed.
Oh, Daikena actually getting the potion manip on his screen, so that's an easy stage 8 for him, and also a better setup for level 4 as it avoids an axe drop in a very tumultuous part of the screen.
Yeah, both runners are quite far away from that axe drop right now. Alright, Daikena also going for the old school bridge strat here. Similar bone pattern.
Ooh, very, very fortunate with that knockback. Was able to get knocked onto the other platform instead of falling and taking another death.
Yep. I think he positioned himself so that way the fireball wouldn't push him over the gap. Saw him do a little bit of last second movement.
Oh, I see.
It looks like the mummy's separated.
Oh, and we get a double KO.
Yep. So Daikena's gonna have to deal with the mummies.
Meanwhile, it looks like Levelengine had a death as well. He's on Leather Whip.
So K-Skip is no longer coming off a death. K-Skip is no longer. It's a lot harder to figure out.
Yeah, you no longer have that 3-whip buffer you get from landing to line up with the wraps. You have to do that on your own.
If you do a 3-whip buff, if you try to do a 3-whip buffer at the start when you come off a death, you're gonna get hit in the face by that.
Mm-hmm.
Daikena does have his holy water going into Fleeman Alley.
Well, Daikena is going to work down some whip-only strats on the mummies. Takes them down.
And having the short whip for Levelengine in a little bit of trouble here. I don't think he's ever practiced a short whip Fleeman Alley.
So an interesting point about this Fleeman Alley, if you see runners do this screen, you typically see the Fleeman and the Harpies coming in a specific pattern. That is only possible by continuously scrolling the screen and not losing any frames. If you hesitate, if you take a hit, if you turn around, that pattern all of a sudden becomes randomized.
Or if you get a potion on that last bat.
That's true. If the stage 10 screen gives you a potion on transition, that can also mess up the pattern. So makes it
like
very tricky.
That was the one silver lining to that death in level 3. He has the short. You ended up having the short whip, which made his K-skip a lot easier.
Fortunately, a lot of time losses to make that happen. We'll see if Daikena can make that up, or if Levelengine takes an unfortunate accident in level 5.
Yeah, his death in level 4 was pretty inconsequential because for both a time and a situation standpoint.
That's true. And I just see Daikena making very clean work of Fleeman Alley, getting a very predictable pattern. Oh, but taking a hit on the Bow Dragon with an extra jump. He'll be making his way to the Frankenstein's monster fight.
Alright, let's see what bone pattern he gets. Looks like he's going to take the slow bone. Alright, he's finally up there. Daikena coming up on Frankenstein's monster here. Making easy
very standard holy water kill.
I believe Levelengine still has short whip as well at this point.
We'll see. Levelengine taking that safety meat there to make sure that they get through the rest of the stage safely. Without taking the meat, they still have enough health to do all the rest of the boosts in this level, but it does give a little bit of insurance just in case something happens, if they aren't able to do the 4-frame skip on the Bone Tower coming up, or if they take an extra hit in Death's Hallway or on Death Fight itself. Taking a death here. Oh, go ahead.
I don't think I've seen either runner attempt that statue skip.
May not be in the repertoire.
Looks like Daikena did get a fast bone pattern.
And in a race situation, it's very advisable to take the meat. It's skipping the meat only saves about half a second if you do it correctly, and there is a very good likelihood that you will die by skipping the meat. So, and a death right there is very punishing.
Yeah. Unless your PB does that strat, then you're already used to grinding that one.
That's very true.
Because we've seen races where that meat's been skipped in this tournament.
Very tight races, especially 2-Snack and SPD Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah, skipping the meat gave 2-Snack an edge in the first race.
That's definitely a calculated decision, sizing up your opponent and seeing if you need to do that or not.
Alright, looks like Levelengine's coming up on death here. He's got more than enough hearts to deal with him. As long as he's got the stun lock, he's in good shape.
Looks like the stun lock is successful, and that's a defeated death.
Yeah, it looked like he had a little bit of trouble setting it up, but he was able to quickly recover before.
Yeah, a little shaky start.
Holy Water Flame ran out.
As Daikena moves into the ill-fated stage 15.
Yeah, he's got the same hit point advantage that Levelengine had. You can just take a hit here. And you should have a hit to spare going into the hallway. So Levelengine coming across the Bat Bridge. He's going to want to get through here without losing any frames. He's going to ensure that by throwing the Holy Water at that stopwatch candle. Alright, looks like that Bat's going to aim for the legs, but
Incoming Fireball, dodge. Very easy to jump over, yeah. Levelengine moving into the clock tower as Daikena, finishes up death.
Alright, we'll see if Levelengine takes the meat here. He does.
Another solid race choice.
Pretty good shape going into Dracula. Because that meat will allow him to try possibly up to 3 crits here.
Daikena about a full level behind Levelengine at this point. Dracula can be an equalizer. If this fight goes awry and Levelengine takes a death, Daikena can catch up.
I think it would have to take more than 1 death, most likely.
Yeah, more than 1.
They're about a minute and a half apart at this point. Alright, got the slow fireball pattern. He's going to set up for the 3-cycle crit strat. Just a little bit late on that one. But he should be able to recover for a 5-cycle kill. Unless he wants to go for any backup crits. Alright, so Levelengine has taken care of Dracula. He's onto the Cookie Monster.
Solid 5-cycle.
Got him in that stun lock. He's going for the machine gun kill. Where you want to throw that holy water across Dracula's head to do a little bit more damage. And Levelengine takes the first race with a 12:34.
It's the GG for Levelengine as Daikena makes his way into the Dracula fight. Oh, he actually lost some frames there, whipping at the top of the staircase. Oh, and
looks like he's going to take a forfeit here.
I believe he conceded, yeah.
Try and we're going to try, like I said, this is going to be a double. We're going to try and get as many races in as we can during this. So Levelengine is up 1-0 in his match. I think Daikena would have finished around the 13. Probably would have finished around the 13:30-ish time had he continued. So we're just waiting for both runners to start the second race. So anyways, looks like they're going to start up the second race pretty soon.
All right, yeah.
So while we're waiting, we want to talk about what the plan is for both runners going into the second race. I believe they're not going to change much. It's just execution at this point.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, Daikena's run, other than those deaths, was pretty solid. I mean, if he can just make sure that he lands the strats as I'm sure they have leading up to this point, it should be a pretty close contest. I mean, Levelengine, of course, was not without mistakes himself, but just fortunately made fewer. as we said in the beginning, it's really going to come down to who makes the least mistakes.
Yep.
Both these runners have proven that they have solid runs and consistently solid runs. It's a test of endurance now.
It'll definitely be a test of endurance for the winner of this match as well.
Oh yeah, the winner here goes on to face Tusnek in our finals.
Yep, the next race is starting. Alright, so let's see if both runners pick up an early stopwatch in this run.
Oh, we got a stopwatch from Daikena, yeah.
Yep. I don't think he was aiming for that stopwatch, but he got it anyway.
And it looked to be sort of a whip to make sure they didn't get knocked back, but ended up with a stopwatch.
It's better to lose 0.4 seconds than 1.4. And he accidentally activated the stopwatch there, but that's not a big deal. He just needs to pick up a big heart to get those hearts back. He's got to be careful here not to pick up a drop here from the bat, which he does. Fortunately, got a spawn manipulated too high a bat spawn, so he's gonna have to wait for the next one.
A bit of a time loss for Daikena.
Yeah, it's about 7 seconds between each bat. So in the last race, Levelengine attempted the back crit with just a Holy Water sub-weapon and got it. Let's see what he does here. See if he gets it again. A little bit early, but he's got that bat frozen. He'll just finish him off.
Solid backup for Levelengine. As Daikena uses a similar strat with the backup stopwatch.
A little bit quicker. That one was a little bit quicker because he's freezing the bat against the door instead of waiting for the bat to swing around and then using the stopwatch. He's on the other side with Simon.
Overall, Levelengine coming up ahead with the successful bat boost. So move into level 2. I would say probably it's probably the easiest stage of this race. Level 2. There's not a whole lot that happens. There's maybe one risky boost. As long as you have a stopwatch, the crushers are not a problem. Medusa's probably the easiest boss in the game.
Yeah, pretty much level 2 is about an exercise of saving what we call frame rolls. But both runners getting the slow frame roll leaving stage 4, so it's a wash. It's a wash. So they both go for the big heart at the bottom instead of playing the candle money bag lottery at the top. With these small hearts. Classic style Medusa head boost for Levelengine. Daikena going for the whip buffer setup. And he's going to pick up a little bit of time here because Levelengine did get hit by a Medusa head.
An unfortunate knockback.
Both runners using the stopwatch to freeze the crushers and then picking up a holy water.
We have a frame drop of a cross for Levelengine coming off of that bat boost. That is going to be a bit of a problem, taking on Medusa.
Yeah, it is going to be a little bit of a problem because you want to triple... there is a cross strat for Medusa, but you're not going to be able to set it up.
Not be able to farm up that triple in time, no. Now we have a situation known as the Medusa is loose.
Medusa is loose.
Not the most threatening boss, but she does like to run into you, causing a bit of damage. And Daikena is actually going to take a lead off of that.
Let's say, when you're setting up that cross fight with Medusa, you're starting from the cross at the beginning of the stage, as opposed to enemy drop. For those that did watch Cancel Out Me race in this marathon.
That is an older strat, sir, but it does check out. Looks like Levelengine may be a little bit out of his comfort zone with that cross.
The one bright spot to getting the cross in level 2 is he doesn't have to manipulate a cross. That kind of taking that bird very safe. Very, very safe. And it looks like he got a money bag drop. Does he have a long whip by chance?
I don't believe so.
And Levelengine switching out the cross for an axe, which he didn't have to do because he's going to pick up the cross on the next screen anyway.
That's true.
Yeah, but overall, it doesn't really count for much.
And Levelengine is a little high on hearts. He's going to pick up a big heart here. She's got to be careful in order to get the long whip. Oh, actually, it looks like Daikena did pick up a long whip. So that was a good eye on your part.
Yeah, and he's also cycled all the way up to item 2 in the second item in the drop table. Which is the one item you don't want to be on.
That is the potion drop for this stage, but for the next stage, it is the dreaded axe. If that gets picked up, it makes a very difficult Frankenstein's monster fight.
Yeah, that's the last thing he wants to see in this race, down 1-0. But he does have his double shot cross and plenty of health to deal with the mummies, so should be fine here. Levelengine not that far behind. Close enough that K-skip will be a factor in this race.
Both runners making use of a sub-item glitch of overlapping hitboxes to take care of those mummies. Deals damage per frame while that sub-weapon is over both hitboxes, so that takes care of the mummies very, very quickly.
You'll also see that damage glitch on Dracula later in this run. With Dracula and the candle.
Daikena currently is in the lead. Getting the long whip cave skip.
Yep. That's a
impressive.
That's a 2-frame window. It looks like he forced an item drop, and he is past that axe drop. So he's in the clear.
Levelengine missing the cave skip, giving Daikena an even more solid lead. And also, if you didn't notice, Levelengine also dropped a potion from a bat while on the raft, so he is actually on axe item as well, going into Fleeman Alley.
Alright, looks like Daikena's making easy work of Fleeman Alley, no drops.
Yeah,
Okay, a hard drop.
Levelengine's going to be paying very close attention to these enemies, seeing if something drops from them. There's a heart there. A lot of hearts falling.
Yeah, I was going to say, I believe his setup is pretty good at avoiding drops. He does the JC Furious Paul setup for the Fleeman Alley screen.
No axe, but a lot of hearts coming out of there.
That's going to affect the end of stage countdown, as I said. Each additional heart's going to... From what I heard from Ouija, it's 12 frames for the first heart as the game is checking for hearts, and then 6 frames for each additional heart. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I'd have to figure that one out for myself. Well, let's just say his countdown's going to be about a second.
You see, Levelengine was trying to burn some holy water hearts as he walks into the stage, but unfortunately messes up the Frankenstein's monster setup, letting him get loose.
He's got enough health to tank, though.
Yeah.
With that holy water.
Still is able to get through, but that is going to be another time loss for Levelengine.
Yeah, Daikena has played this match pretty well, this particular race pretty well to this point. Richard giving him the business, so he just stood there and gave him a whip. It's better, like I said, like we said in level 1, better to lose 0.4 than 1.4.
Indeed, Richard's gonna Richard.
Yep. Daikena should go for the meat here. He's got probably about 15-second lead on Levelengine up to this point.
Levelengine gets the fast bump.
Okay, make it 14 seconds. Alright, so 8:28 for Daikena through the stage 13 door. We'll know pretty soon.
Yeah, still a strong race move to take that safety meet, even when you're behind. The time it saves is not worth the potential of taking a death on this stage.
Yeah.
Typically in most situations.
Yeah, dying in stage 15 is probably the most punishing death you can take in this game. It's even more punishing than dying to Dracula, because at least with Dracula it only costs you a minute and you can still go in with the optimal strats.
Yeah, you die. The game conveniently gives you the sub-weapons you need right on the stage, so even if you die Dracula, you can still fight that. Do the fight just as practiced, but dying here at this point, you lose the holy water, and there's no way to get it back at this point, so you have to kind of improvise a little bit on your way through the stage.
Yeah, so you either have to figure out a backup strat, or you have to take a game over and get that holy water in stage 13. So like I said, they're roughly about 12 seconds apart to this point. Daikena will probably go for the 7 water death kill as well. It's a matter of point. He's going to win this race if he executes, of course. He's going to try and put himself in the best position worth it to minimize the amount of risk.
Late game has a lot of equalizers, though. Clean death kill.
Very clean death kill.
Levelengine's still not far behind. Dracula can be a decider here. I think it's safe if, as long as level 6 plays nice for Daikena and he gets a solid Drac fight. This is his fight to lose.
Come through Bat Bridge. He does a little bit of a different strat, an old school strat. We used to actually whip for the stopwatch candle, but we found that it would be easier to save that addition. We would lose a couple frames in order to pick up that stopwatch, which is why the middle bat always got whipped.
Yeah, much like Fleeman Alley, this pattern for these bats is only predictable as long as you don't lose frames. If you lose frame on that whip coming down, the bats can become unpredictable, and you can take an unfortunate tumble.
Yeah. Daikena picking up the safety meat before exiting the clock tower. He's got a pretty decent heart count. He must have gotten a couple heart drop. Must have gotten a heart drop somewhere in this level. See if Levelengine skips the meat here, knowing how far behind he is. Nope, he's going to pick up the meat as well. Was a chance for him to pick up 3 seconds on Daikena, but I guess he's playing for the hope your opponent dies to Drac strategy. It's not a bad idea. Because 3 seconds isn't going to...
It would have been
3
risky.
seconds isn't going to... 3 seconds would have still put him in a tight position here. Slow fireballs from Drac. A little bit early on that crit attempt, but he's gonna have plenty of health to deal with. Gets the second multi-hit glitch as well, so he's gonna have a fast 5 cycle here. And he's gonna teabag Drac before the cookie's stun. Levelengine going for the crit, and he gets it.
Crit and a 3 cycle from Levelengine, but unfortunately I don't think it's gonna be enough.
Yeah, even if he had skipped the meat in the clock tower, I don't think he would have been able to catch up here. But he did make it closer than it appeared.
Alright, that's Daikena taking round 2 with a 12-14, while Levelengine finishes up here with looks like about a 12-22, I want to say. Yeah. Late 12-22. GG to Daikena. We'll be moving on to race number 3.
Yeah, with both runners' PBs being 1 second apart, it's not surprising that we have a third match.
Yeah, this is, as Freeland said early on, this is probably the tightest race between 2 runners that we've seen in this tournament so far. Their PB's only separated by a second. All right, looks like they are setting up the final race now.
Yep, they're speedrunning. Not only are they speedrunning the game, they're speedrunning race setup.
Yeah,
We're setting some world records here.
Yeah, they want to strike while the iron is hot. I don't blame them. Daikena had a pretty good run. Very few mistakes in that last one, and not many mistakes on Levelengine's part either. Just missing a cave skip in a few suboptimal situations with the cross pickup in level 2. But if both runners do a clean run, it is anybody's game.
Yeah, I feel like Levelengine execution was solid enough, but I think he did get screwed by that cross drop a little bit.
Yeah. Not only suboptimal, but I think he just wasn't expecting it, and maybe lost a little frames to nerves there.
Yeah, I was wondering how he got the cross to begin with.
I didn't see a holy water pickup in 1 or drop in 1 or a bag in 2. So I'm actually I was a little baffled by that as well.
Alright, both runners going through stage 1 without the stopwatch, so they're going to try and get a backup here from the first bat in stage 2.
I think Daikena is over 3 for that secondary pixel to pick up the stopwatch.
Well, technically 0 for 2. The second one he got a stopwatch from the first set of zombies. Didn't have to.
Oh, that is true. That is absolutely right. But Daikena will again be going for axe strats as Levelengine tries for another crit.
Yeah, that stopwatch gives you more flexibility to try that crit because you can freeze the bat on the wall. But if he misses the crit, Daikena only loses about half a second to him.
Daikena actually being a bit faster than that stopwatch backup that Levelengine used, so he will take a slight lead into level 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say Levelengine plays a very safe stun on the stopwatch on the back crit. That's a pretty easy strat to learn. Freezing against the wall requires much better whip rhythm. But he will pull ahead in level 2 because he does have the stopwatch. Daikena picked up a big card, so he's gonna have to be very careful not to get a whip upgrade.
Unfortunate tumble down to say hello to that Spear Knight.
Yeah, we'll name him. We'll give him a name some point.
We'll name him somebody, yeah. Yeah, TJ, I also cannot predict. This race is going to be very close.
Yeah. It looks like Levelengine's pulled slightly ahead to this point. He'll have an advantage of being able to use the stopwatch on the Crushers.
Again, both using a very safe, tried and true whip buffer strat on the Medusa boost.
So Leveline's going to be able to use the stopwatch, and Daikena's got to wait for the Crushers to line up so he can walk underneath. Roughly about 1 second difference.
Oh, and a bit mistimed on that bat boost, as Daikena will have to go up the old-fashioned way.
Gotta be careful not to take too many knockbacks here. Because missing that bat boost is a pretty penalizing time loss, roughly about 8 seconds.
That's going to give Levelengine a pretty solid lead as he cleans up Medusa and moves into level 3.
However, Daikena still should be in pretty good shape. As long as he puts the pedal to the metal here, 8 seconds, well, probably closer to 9 seconds. Levelengine is starting level 3 at 3:37. So yeah,
about 9 seconds. 8 or 9 seconds.
Yeah, about 8 to 9 seconds here. And level 3 can erase that gap pretty easily.
Alright, Levelengine trying to put more of a gap between him and his opponent with the faster Fleeman boost, about 1/4 second saved there. And picks up a potion drop on that first bird in top of stage 7.
Fortunately, he wasn't able to manipulate a money bag drop from the skeleton, so he's going to have to... well, this is for talking about God Bridge, which is the fastest way to go through stage 9, but he's going to have to force at least 2 drops to get on that particular drop table.
Yeah, if he goes for the potion manip strat here, he's going to get a bag drop from this bird. Which he gets.
Alright, he was able to get over the gap, got shot from behind, but that's okay. 4 damage boost in that situation is not a big deal. But again, it does manipulate the rosary there. I believe that's actually his first drop of the game, so he should be on item 2. Entering stage 9. Both opting for the classic bridge. It looks like Levelengine got the implosion pattern. For those that didn't similar setup to what Implosion Retro Gaming does on this particular bridge. He does an extra whip buffer on that first thing. He must have gotten the same frame.
Oh, Daikena getting an unlucky spawn for that double. It actually spawned on a fireball right behind him, but does not matter. Gets a single frame or a single cross kill and a whip on the mummies. Does not need a double.
I don't think he got the frame for the cross eviscerating the mummies, but the whip was close enough. He was close enough with the whip that he could just deal the final hit on both of them.
Yeah, that's right, Corinne. Daikena is on item 2, which means he has the possibility of an axe drop here. Levelengine, I believe, is on item 3, so he's got item 4.
No, he's on item 4, so his first drop would be a rosary.
So he's got a little bit of a buffer.
Does get the perfect cave skip pixel on the Fishman.
It's a little low for Daikena, going for a pause buffer, and corrects it.
Alright, so both runners expertly hitting the K skip. Levelengine has about a 9-second lead on Daikena going into Fleeman Alley.
And Daikena exhibiting there that if you miss the visual indicator for the cave skip, you can opt for a pause buffer to advance the frames and get a better pattern for the bat, which he does.
Yeah, there's two windows
and we get a trap from Daikena. That is going to be unfortunate. That's just a guaranteed time loss.
Guaranteed time loss because he can't go for the optimal strat on Frankenstein.
As you see, Fleeman Alley turning into chaos for Daikena.
And you don't have that holy water to hit the Fleeman from behind either.
Ultimately, pretty good recovery though. We'll see.
Didn't get enough hits on that Bone Dragon in order to manipulate a double shot pattern. But he's going to try and set himself up for success with more health.
Yeah, without a double, it's difficult to actually execute on axe strats, so he's probably going to just opt for whip only here.
Whip only, use the axe where he can. We see him do whip only kills on Frank.
He's got one more hit to play with.
Fortunately,
yeah. A lot of hearts, though. He's got to wait to tick down, though. That's going to be a hefty time loss.
He's going to lose roughly about 3 seconds on this countdown. So that'll give Levelengine a pretty comfortable lead in level 5. Another slow bone pattern from Richard there. Say they're roughly about 16-17 seconds apart.
Yeah. Still enough time to catch up in a lot of situations, but if Levelengine keeps playing consistent,
yeah.
it'll be difficult for Daikena.
As long as he doesn't get any drops or makes the big mistake on any of the bosses, he should be good. He should be in pretty good shape.
I agree. Daikena picking up the back-up holy water from a candle on the first screen there, grabbing a double from the wall.
Yeah, that's actually the fastest I've seen that block be opened and grabbed. I usually lose about half a second to pick up that block.
Mm-hmm. If you time a jump whip right at the bottom of the stairs, you can actually break it while jumping. It's not exactly a clean break. I think you still lose a couple frames, but it's much quicker the alternative of actually standing, whipping on the stairs, or jumping up and whipping at the bottom.
Although I do believe with the frame rule system at the door, you don't actually lose any frames if it only takes a couple frames to hit that block type thing. Alright, it looks like Levelengine's coming up on the death hallway after taking a bop on the bone pillar.
Levelengine taking a slow but methodical death kill here. Making sure not to make a mistake and let death out of his cage.
Yeah. That's the one fight that is terrifying to do off script.
Oh, absolutely. Death gets free, starts spawning sides that track Simon's movement, and you have to not only fight death, but maneuver your way around the screen in a way to not get hit, because each of those sides do a quarter of your life.
And at that point, you only have one hit to give.
Very scary situation to be in.
Daikena also taking care of death. Levelengine maneuvering around the bat bridge, didn't lose any frames whatsoever on this screen, so he should be good to go.
Getting a good favorable bat pattern. Should be seeing much of the same from Daikena.
Alright, he's gonna pick up the meat here, try and set himself up in the best position to succeed here.
And Levelengine is on his way to a drag fight, as Daikena makes his way to the clock tower.
Yeah, it looks like that bat gave that last bat had a pretty unpredictable pattern, but he was able. He threw the fireball, but threw the fireball at.
Double bone party for Daikena.
Yeah. It's a bone rave. You can call it that. Or he's also picking up the meat. So his strategy is to hope that Levelengine screws up against Drac.
Fast fireball pattern from Dracula, setting up on the left side, getting the crit for the 3 cycle. Very nicely done.
3 crits on both, 3 cycles on both last 2 races, I should say. Slow jump from Cookie. He's got him on Stunlock. So Levelengine will move on to the finals to play 2 Snack.
With 11:56, that
almost PB
almost
again.
Tied his PB, yeah, almost tied his PB. Great race from Levelengine as Daikena is going to make his way, missing the crit and going for a fast 5 cycle to finish out.
Pretty good race overall. Levelengine just made a couple slightly better plays at the end, and that axe drop ended up being a factor.
Yeah, Daikena having a under hearts for a machine gun kill. They're opting for a slower but safer 2-whip and holy water strat, finishing out with a 12:35, I believe. So GG to Daikena and Levelengine, and congratulations to Levelengine as they'll be moving on to the finals where they will face the world record holder 2Snack.
And I'll say this, there was financial incentive for this race. The winner of this race will pick up a second place cash prize of $31. The Levelengine will not be walking away from this tournament empty-handed. As a result. All right, we're gonna set up for the final match pretty soon.
Oh, and we have Daikena here in the room with us. Likely the Levelengine will be joining up here shortly.
Hello.
Hello, Daikena. Great race.
Oh, thank you. I mean, the second one was good, but the first one was terrible. I did so many mistakes in the early stages, and then I couldn't catch up because his race was solid.
Yeah, my third one especially.
Yeah, you almost PB'd on that third race.
I know, right?
What was your time on the third race?
11:57 minus the 9.5 seconds in the intro, so something in the 11:48s most likely.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, very solid performance from both of you. There are a few mistakes back and forth created, but ultimately pretty consistent running across all 3 races. How do you guys feel coming out of that?
Very good right about now.
Yeah, I mean, I could have done better, but with an 11:48, I think I couldn't compete on this third race. I was aiming on 12-minute races, so yeah, that was a really good race from Levelengine. GG. And thank you, Freeland, for casting all those races, and thanks Rokra as well.
Yeah, you did a pretty good job in this tournament. You ended up finishing in the final 4.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy about that. I was aiming on getting out of group stage, and managed to get to semis, so it's cool.
I'd definitely say you crushed that expectation. Very well done, and very good job in this tournament, Daikena.
Thank you.
So anyway, Levelengine, with winning the semifinal match, you will, at worst, come away with this tournament with $31 as a second place cash prize.
I didn't even remember there were cash prizes.
I
didn't even remember you were offering those.
I think they are. Here, I'll check the bracket real quick.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to claim that.
Most likely, probably through PayPal or something like that. Let me take a look. I could be wrong on this one.
That seemed like one of the safest bets to actually pay me. Yeah, I'd have to figure out how to actually set everything up first.
And good luck to Levelengine against 2Snack, because he has done some pretty solid run.
Yeah, it should be a very interesting final. Levelegine's been putting together some really good runs last few rounds. Two Snakes probably the gold standard for Castlevania. It'll be interesting to see how that one plays out.
Yeah, Levelengine, I've casted a number of your races this tournament. You have been consistent in every one of them. So, Stu Snake, of course, is the king, is the world record holder. But consistency, I believe, is the true king in this tournament, and I think you should be able to put up a pretty fair fight against him.
Perhaps. I see him racing 2 Snack already.
Yeah, well, we might try to get this one. Yeah, today's last day to finish the tournament, so we're going to try and get this one in pretty soon.
That's fair.
Okay, see you guys. Good luck, Levelengine.
How much time do I have to figure out how to actually get paid the at least $31 for placing at least second?
Yeah. All right, I need to make sure that cash prize is still, because I don't see it on the.
Yeah, Levelengine, I've casted a number of your races this tournament. You have been consistent in every one of them. So, Stu Snake, of course, is the king, is the world record holder. But consistency, I believe, is the true king in this tournament, and I think you should be able to put up a pretty fair fight against him.
Perhaps. I see him racing 2 Snack already.
All right. Yeah, well, we might try to get this one. Yeah, today's last day to finish the tournament, so we're going to try and get this one in pretty soon.
That's fair.